So, moving on to the bad OCs this week, we will start in the same order we did for good OCs. Let us start with Medi.
So yeah, this is Hakura.
Oh my goodness.
Is that how it's pronounced?
Hikaru? Or Hikaru?
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 Hikaru.
Hakura. They have an interesting backstory. So a while ago, she was hatched in her motherland, which in the equivalent of Equestria apparently is Japan. Or in Equestria's equivalent to into Earth is basically Japan. And they were forced to move to Baltimore because the motherland became overpopulated. And so their father opened up a convenience store, but they're kind of hated by the ENF, which is the pony version of the KKK.
Oh.
What?
Wow, that turned dark turn instantly.
Oh my god. Fuck
So
me.
they stopped there, and then they moved on to adult life, where they went back to the motherland and joined the Changeling Empire, or joined the Changeling military. And because they were as they described, being a ray of sunshine and a bit of a ditz, they were given the nickname Airhead. And she served in the military and ended up having to be in the season 2 finale fight, and that's when her legs got crushed by a building, making her a cripple.
Brutal.
And yeah, she can't move her back legs. And if you click on the other link, she's in a wheelchair.
An adorable wheelchair.
She was scared of moving back to Baltimore because of the NF and not knowing what they would do to a crippled changeling. So she decided to just live in a library where she was safe. And she hopes one day to be able to move again.
So, does she, now that she is crippled and seems to be in a library, apparently it's a school library.
Yeah.
Is she in just a pony form of herself most of the time, it seems?
Yeah, she's obviously in pony form, but apparently her cutie mark is the Changeling Empire symbol.
So... oh my god.
Don't like your backstory. I mean, it's interesting, but I don't like it, personally. If you like it, keep it. Now, your design, on the other hand, I really don't like. 1, too many holes. There's a lot of holes.
Yeah.
And specifically in the hair. It kind of looks like you added hair to a base and then decided to use the erase tool on all of it.
I can see it.
And don't the holes in the manes actually have like outlines to them?
Yep.
So it just looks weird. And your colors are way too bright.
Yep.
I'm not so sure about that.
Oh, I mean,
in comparison to the rest of her, yes.
I say at least the mane, the light parts of the mane, specific, in the mane is a bit bright, and then the back part, or some of the chest thing that's on the back, is kind of, but in the wings a little bit, but I don't know.
She is a kind, bubbly, friendly, but strict bookworm who's a gamer and a bit submissive.
Weird, she was in the military and she came out like that.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Especially
Submissive.
for 6 years.
Yeah. You think
I mean,
that
I understand the
there would be
submissive part. And strict.
Yeah.
But seriously? Bookworm? They don't read in the military.
Come on. You're trained for warfare.
Gamers?
Not to read books.
There are no gamers in the military. No.
Clearly.
The only games you play are guns.
So, there's a lot going on with this story, and I feel like we are glossing over a lot of it. I mean, it's like, okay, so you're saying that she grew up in some Japanese version.
No, she was born in Japan,
Yeah,
basically,
she was
and had
born
to move
in-
to America.
She was born in essentially the Japan equivalent of in Equestria. Moved to the I guess Equestria version. I guess whatever. Anyway,
Of Baltimore.
and then Baltimore, and then was chased out because of racist, and then went back. So then, how long was that period? Like, was that like?
She was born and grown in Japan place, and then moved to Baltimore, and then came back to the Japan place, took 6 years in the military there, at least, and then went back over,
Canterlot.
and then now resides.
But then it's like, there's also the point of her father. If she's a drone, then she doesn't know her father. In theory, if you're going with the fact that she was in a colony life, you don't know your father. You know the queen.
Just change those colors, maybe work on the backstory a little bit, make it a little bit maybe less edge.
Okay, so moving on to the next one. Mumford,
Oh yeah,
what do
that's
you
right.
have for us this week?
It's my turn. That's right. So I have Lawrence Wing. He lives in the town of Thundering Hoof with Candlewick, which I assume is another OC by this artist. He wasn't originally a changeling, but was transformed by a disaster in the town. By not being born a changeling, his ability to disguise himself is majorly flawed, so at random times, small details on him change appearance. Before he was changed, he was assigned to work on the magic generator, a basic generator that powers the town. He is generally positive, but he sees things as very bleak, and deeply regrets the generator explosion. He sees it as his fault. I think I've got everything here now. ... Okay, so 1, how do generator explosions cause people?
Magic
Okay, wait,
generator
hold on. It's just the accident. How does an accident make someone turn into a changeling? And 2, when you're putting that in your description, you may want to like phrase it differently. Like you say, he was transformed by a disaster in the town. Okay, is the disaster that was in the town the generator explosion? Because it's not well written. So you may want to rearrange how you word that. Also, I get the idea that, okay, if by some chance he was changed into a changeling, and different things were changing about his appearance, then what does that mean? Does that mean his, like, normal, quote-unquote, changeling version of himself? Does it always change, like, I don't know, like, be like, you turn your head and suddenly his mane isn't red, it's really blue? Or is it something gradual, like, over a day or two, it's like, slowly like, oh, that's weird. I thought your hooves were more of a brownish black, now it's more of a bluish black. I don't know. But it's one of these things that it's just kind of how do you do the things you do? As opposed, and then the artist also includes a couple of images of what he looked like as a filly, I guess. So before the accident, what?
Colt.
Filly and colt.
Colt.
Sorry.
Foal.
Colt. Foal and colt. Thank you. Foal is the word I was looking for. Foal and colt. Colt. There's so much detail about this that I want more of that it just falls flat, in my opinion.
Why not just make them a changeling?
Yeah.
There aren't enough changeling OCs anyway. Why
Well, I don't know.
why
The story.
cheat your way into being a changeling.
The story kind of is okay with the idea of he got magically altered, but you gotta make it like some
Makes sense.
major
Yeah.
thing. Like, maybe it was a generator that was co-created by Discord and Celestia to bring power to this area that needs
Then
power.
why
Because
changeling?
Yeah, I feel like you need to explain
But then-
the fact that it's
No. But if it's a thing made with the help of Discord, Discord's chaos magic could have just been like, well, here's a giant explosion. Now the building is an apple, and you turned into a changeling, and that frog over there is no longer an orange. It's really just a regular frog. Or I don't fucking know. It's got to be like something where like either the situation that he was put in was so like out there and how it was executed, or there's I just don't know. You gotta make it so that it's more seems feasible for this to happen. As going off the information in the show, I don't see why this would be a thing.
Well,
I don't
it is an
see
AU.
why. Oh yeah, I know, but all right, fine. I guess if it is an AU, that kind of makes things okay.
makes it a little
But
bit
still,
better.
with an AU, things still need to make a little
you
bit
still
of
need to
sense.
explain a little bit more. Like,
Yeah. It can't just
Like-
be a wild card for the sake of being a wild card. It needs to be a wild card and presented that, no, this isn't a normal thing, but the possibilities could lead to this being a thing.
Yeah.
There is a reason, a cause, an effect that is somewhat rooted in basic knowledge in that world.
yeah.
So either that basic knowledge isn't described to us, or it's not going to make sense. I like that. I really like that description. That makes a lot of sense, what I just said.
Way to,
I am on
I
it.
agree with him.
way to
I
hype
think it
up
was
yourself.
Yeah, I feel good. Oh, feels good.
That was pretty good.
Thank you. What do you guys think?
Well, I've stated my opinion.
Yeah, it's just why not make him a changeling?
Yeah,
He could just be bad at being changeling, you know?
He
It
could
just
be-
happens sometimes. Sometimes you just aren't good at things. That's a thing.
Well, but then again, Smooth, if he was just a changeling, would he just be like a bad drone? And then you'd have to write a star. Well, that sounds much interesting.
as you're describing it, you're like, wait a second. Oh,
Wait
Yeah,
a second,
that's-
like a drone that was like had a faultiness to it, so they just threw him out because he wasn't useful. So he had to go live his life in Equestria. That'd be interesting.
That would be really interesting. That sounds like a great idea.
So, for me, I'm not a big fan of his colors, like the light green and the I guess dark red. I don't feel like they mesh well together on the pony even, but on the changeling I think it just looks a bit weird. The green isn't too bad, but the red definitely throws it for a loop.
Yeah.
I mean, not sure what exactly I would do for that, but
Also, red, green, and yellow?
yeah.
Not sure how I feel about that. It does give a feeling of uneasiness, and I'm just like,
Yeah, you generally
not 100%.
for changelings, most of them sort of stick within one color theme of like normal changelings. They seem to have like it's like they're like there's a lot of well, actually from what I'm looking, it seems to be actually blue, but because they have blue eyes. And their wings are like a darker blue green.
They're duochromatic and then gigantic amounts of gray.
Yeah.
Because
Gray is
dark
obviously.
gray can go with a lot of things.
Yeah.
So the changeling's main theme is green and blue with, dark gray.
Yeah.
However, this adds another one into the mix, and it's just another two because the wings are also have a slight bit of blue to them.
Yeah.
So it's blue, green, red, and yellow, and the dark gray.
It's
Too much for
definitely adding too much. At the very least, I would recommend sort of trying to recycle one of the colors for the eyes, because I think that the yellow is a bit unnecessary. Not.
And you couldn't use the green because then you'd have a green coat and green eyes for the pony.
Yeah.
Maybe just change the wings to be yellow.
Maybe. I'm not sure how that would look, though.
Yeah.
I would sort of just do little things with, like, seeing how colors work together. Just, like, little sketches to test the...
Definitely work on it.
Yeah. So there's just a little bit too much going on for that. But...
Like I said, it's one of those things that, yeah, this could work, but you have to do some serious world building in order to do that. Now, I'm not saying to do that, it
helps.
Hold on. It helps, yeah. It really needs some world building as to why this situation could have existed. Because you have described the character, like, very well, but it's one of those things that you need to describe the situation surrounding this character more. You can't just say, oh, a sister was banished to the moon. What? How do you banish someone to the moon? Well, when you explain, they're two Alicorn princess sisters who have magical power and blah, 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 and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. After an argument, she was sent to the moon. So, it's all about building the world, and I feel that once that is accomplished, this OC could be something great.
So, done with that one. Now move
done
on
with
to...
Mummified.
So now let's move on to Smooth's Bad OC for this week. Smooth, what do you bring to the table? Well, I brought Distraction. She, unlike pretty much all of the other changelings we've brought this week, does not actually have a unique changeling form as far as I could find. She was part of a different hive than Chrysalis under a queen called Nymph. And their hive was running out of space in it, so they had to send out scouts to go and scout out new lands for, expansion kind of thing. So she was one of them that went out as a scout. Unfortunately, she did find a place. However, by the time she got there, she had completely lost her way, and she had no clue how to get back.
Fun.
Now, I'm gonna just say this right now. This is not very good quality of a scout. I mean, of course, there can be circumstances along the way that make it freaking impossible to find your way back, but I'd probably state something like that. And this happened after the Canterlot incident, so ponies kind of not big fans of changelings, so she needed a disguise, and she just kind of changed form into the first one she saw. Unfortunately, this is the part where I start not really liking, because she took the form of that pony and then convinced that pony she was just a relative of theirs, and just switched the order of their names and said, oh yes, you are Anonymous Pony, I am Pony Anonymous. And apparently worked. But that's my main complaint about it, I guess. She also started to lose her instinct and hive mind mentality because she's been away so long, so she just started to develop herself. So, I guess more insight on a possibility for changelings. So that's nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She actually likes real food in comparison to emotions. because it just kind of is more exciting, as she described it. And currently she is just staying in that place, being kind and studying these strange creatures in their natural environment habitat. Freaking dang it. And that's personality backstory.
Yeah. I mean, aside from the whole flipping names, convincing Pony that they're sister, other than that, it's actually, there's a lot of things that I think are really cool from this. Right off the bat, starting with being from another hive, I think that just, got my mind running on a lot of cool ideas for just, how, because we pretty much associate changelings with chrysalis. And I think it's really, it'd be a really cool thing for, a fanfic or something like that to have another hive and maybe get into the, workings between the two and history and stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty cool. And I also, the whole, losing that hive mind mentality also is an interesting prospect. So I definitely, this person has the ability to come up with some actually really cool concepts, for sure. And I just wish that they would change that last part about the pony thing, because that's just the only thing about at least the personality backstory that really bugs me. And it's quite a fault, unfortunately, at least in my mind. But the rest of it I actually really like.
Also, I really like how, for this one, we don't really have aesthetics to worry about. So, in a backwards case of, most of the freaking one-part things that we've had throughout this lifetime as a show, we can't really talk about aesthetics. We have to talk about the personality and backstory. And it makes so much sense for a changeling, too. Changelings are just so amazing.
This one is honest, I'm surprised how much this changeling's got me thinking about changelings. A lot.
Yeah. I just really wish we had a lot of official stuff for changelings.
Yeah,
I mean,
more for sure would be nice.
The comics have done stuff for changelings. I'm not gonna spoil what or anything, but it's the first freaking arc of the comics. Just go and read it.
Yeah.
But I want more.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I want more.
This also this makes me want to just read some of the main fanfics about changelings just to see how other people portray it.
Yeah.
Because you just there's so many different things you can do with it. Because it's one thing that's really interesting about My Little Pony is how scarily open it is to any really new ideas. Just really briefly, since we didn't really talk about aesthetics, I'm interested as to why they chose yellow eyes as opposed to the blue.
I don't know.
What if scouts had yellow eyes?
Maybe that's how the different hive works.
That's also
maybe
possible.
Yellow eyes and blue wings.
That's also possible.
It is a possibility.
See, we need more information. My Little Pony, please.
Plus.
Seriously.
Plus.
Seriously.
Don't.
Anyway, I pretty much like this character, and we just need maybe a little more information and maybe tweaking of a few little things that we obviously stated here. And other than that, I really like her.
Yeah.
Wants to know more about her and how she grows in society. Okay, so, well, that is our third one. So now let us move on to the last and final one. Commander, What did you bring in?
So, this is Ruzinier, and that is how you pronounce it. They put a pronunciation thing in the description, which I would never have guessed that at all.
Rune Zunie. Okay.
They're a bit older than most of the changeling drones, and they developed apparently enough free will to escape the hive in Prance. Now, really quickly, I'm not sure if they escaped the hive to go to Prance, or if the hive was in Prance, but based on things that it sounds like she escaped to Prance, but I'd recommend clarifying that a little bit more, because that's one thing that confused me. Originally tasked with preparing quote-unquote food in the hive, which I'm interested on how that works, he started learning the act of cooking in Prance, and while is not even nearly as talented as a pony with a cutie mark, has a bit of a knack for cooking, and has quickly gained a reputation. He also frequents clubs and is known for his one-night stands to feed himself, which, if he's a cook, feeding himself, that's sort of... I wonder if they would need, if they had, went off both. That'd be interesting.
I believe it'd probably be going off of the logic that changelings can only eat love, which a lot of people believe and some people don't.
Yeah, I guess.
We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know for sure. And this seems to be working off that idea more, but I'm not sure. It's sort of a bit confusing since they are good at cooking and stuff. But they're apparently known for having an obscenely snide and teasing nature, and normally keeps to his own custom appearance / design, though allows his wings to remain visible. After all, not just any pony can have those wings. That's another thing. If you're trying to do one-night stands to feed off people, I don't think you'd want them to know that you're a changeling, and I don't think you'd show off your wings. Maybe it's just me.
Yeah, you want to fit in. You want
to
fit in.
And
Arrogance
you said,
takes control. Screw everything.
And like you said, not just any pony can have those wings. So, I feel like that.
And by that fact, no pony has those wings.
Yeah.
Not anyone. Everyone will see you be like,
I think it's a somewhat interesting thing having go to clubs and do one night stands to feed off love. I would say it's kind of a dick thing to do, but I mean I don't. Changelings, how do they exactly feed off love that's not being a dick?
Is that love or just lust?
Is it? It's a good question. Is there a difference for changelings? Is another thing. Is it just is lust
now?
Is lust like the fast food of changeling food?
Ugh, gross.
It's all greasy and
and it's terrible for you.
Yeah, it's awful for you.
But I love it.
But I love it.
Grow up. Ugh. Even in freaking analogies, I don't like fast food.
Ugh.
But yeah,
you
guys have anything to say about the sort of backstory character stuff?
The story is okay, except for the fact that one thing we don't know is that do changelings feed off of the lust of the one-night stands, or is it love? And I would assume it would be probably they can feed off of lust, because I don't know what Chrysalis was really thinking when she kind of kidnapped an entire empire of people and decided, yeah, we're going to feed off of them, feed off all the love they're going to give. Oh, wait a minute. They'll get Stockholm Syndrome after a while and they'll start loving us.
Yeah, maybe love is just the most efficient way of feeding, and they could just feed off of different emotions, all sorts of them. That'd be an interesting concept too.
Or changelings are just incredible psychologists this entire time in psychological warfare and crap, and they can just induce Stockholm Syndrome.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I was like, does Stockholm Syndrome...
Oh, that's scary. I don't like that.
Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Mind blown. I want a fanfic written about that shit, immediately.
This is 2 weeks early for our spook episode. Get out of here.
I like some of the general things that they have, like the way that they do the mane and tail. I'm not a huge fan of the mane, but I think that they do the style of a changeling mane pretty well. But my biggest problem is, what's up with all these intricate, like, metal things everywhere?
Yeah, it kind of makes it so you can't turn into a pony and, disguise yourself at all.
Oh, bad idea.
Yeah, and they're also in the wing, too, and I just don't understand them at all. Like, there's no story explaining them or anything like that. They're just sort of there, and I don't like them. Like,
yeah, I also don't like the coloration of the mane and tail.
Yeah, it's a bit. What would you say, dark or saturated? I'm not sure.
I might say both in this case.
Yeah, a little bit of both. I like the way that they are designed is pretty decent. I mean, the mane seems very human-esque, but it's designed like a changeling mane, which is pretty cool. But I mean, other than that, I'm not really sure what to say. Just sort of change the colors slightly. I do like the chest plate thing, because I think that color, that like lavender, is pretty good.
Yeah, the chest plate back thing's pretty good.
Yeah,
I like it.
It's not too obtrusive or anything, though it's very, very close, just a little bit lighter than the outline of the mane currently, so I would change that a bit.
Also, the outline of the mane lighter than the actual
fur. I think that there's potential in this character, but just a few things need to be reworked or taken out. But those, after you do those things, take those things out and rework it a bit, I think it'll be a pretty fine OC.
Okay, so let's go on then to the voting. Going back, for good OC, going back in order of our show order, not in the order we presented, we had a pony without a name yet, as far as we know, Runner Duskfall, Wyvern Rider, and Mimic, in show order of people brought in onto the show, obviously. Voting order, starting with clubs, Medi. Who do you vote for a good OC this time?
Okay, well, you see, probably Runner Duskfall. I like his, what is it? I can't think of the apocalyptic looked, even though his gun holster's kind of weird, and it looks like he's wearing a wig. I liked his moxie.
Mummified?
Out of the three that I can vote for, I think I like Mimic the most.
I have the strange feeling this may end up being a full-on tie-around. I'm gonna give this one to the changeling with no name.
Well, while I did like all of the OCs brought this week, I think Mimic was my favorite. I just really love some of the way that they did the transition between changeling and pony. I thought it was pretty well thought out. And while it wasn't perfect, I thought it was really good.
Excuse me, I'm calling rigged contest. Smooth is the host and he wins. Obviously rigged.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Smooth. Congratulations.
Because every time Mummified wins, yeah, totally. No.
Yeah, it's probably rigged if Mummified wins.
Congratulations,
Moving on.
Yay!
Congratulations.
Moving on to the bad OCs for this week. Mummified brought in Lawrence. Commander brought in, help me with this pronunciation, Ruzinier?
Yes.
Okay. Medi brought in Hikaru, and I brought in Distraction. Medi?
Probably gonna have to go to Lawrence. 'Cause,
I will probably have to give mine to Hikaru.
I think I'm actually also going to give it to Hikaru.
I like it was a little bit tough, but I think I'm gonna have to give it to Hikaru. For a while, I was sitting there I was like I want to give it to Distraction just because there was it was really good, but then there's just that one major flaw. But then I was just like Hikaru. I was just like it was thing after thing after thing.
Again, I'm calling rigged.
I think the two here that need the most improvement are probably Hikaru and Lawrence.
Yeah.
But they're not very far apart, and they don't need, a giant hell ton of improvement, but it's just... They just kind of feel unsettling, sort of.
Yeah.
Mummified gets an honorable mention! Yeah!
Yay!
Honorable mentions this week.
Okay. So... Medi, Victor of Bad OC, do you have any? Do you know if there are any questions for us this week?
Our question was sent in to us by McWolfity.
Ooh.
What is the most scariest sound you've ever heard?
Oh my god.
Scariest sound I've ever heard? Oh god, that's a tough one. I can think of scariest moments, but I'm not sure about scariest sounds. So.
Mummified, quickly save us while we're all thinking.
Well, I mean, it's really, it's one of those things that it's not scary as in boo, ah, or some raking of nails on a chalkboard or anything like that, but it's when your sister, the scariest sound I've ever heard was when my sister calls me at 1:30 in the morning, and I'm just like, why is she calling me? I pick up the phone, and I hear her voice just bawling her eyes out. She's like, I don't know, I can't. And I'm like, whoa, slow down. What's wrong? And then she goes, I'm at this wedding, and there's this little boy here, and he's so adorable. And I'm like, Chris, are you drunk? Have you been drinking? And she goes, only a little. And I'm like, oh my god, you worried the ever-living shit out of me. What the fuck?
This little boy is so
cute. At that point, it would have been like, are you drunk? A little. Hung up immediately.
God damn it, Chris. I love her. She's the best sibling I could ever have, but god damn it, she scared the everything shit out of me.
Sometimes my body just acts up, and sometimes I'll just have I'll pop, and it'll just freak me out because I get really worried that my body is just breaking. So I to put it in really simple layman's terms. Yeah.
You're as brittle as a pencil.
Yeah, seriously. The idea of you being concerned that you're going to break is just oh god, I broke! You're so damn skinny.
My joints pop all the time. I'll just move my leg a little bit, and my hip will pop a little bit. It's pretty freaky.
The emergency broadcast system noise. That scares the shit out of me no matter what the fuck I'm doing, no matter what time in the day. That thing will spook the fuck out of me. And then it starts talking.
I absolutely love silence. So, incredibly out there things I'm not a big fan of, but I don't really get scared by sound, and if I do, I just don't remember it because once again, Smooth has incredibly poor memory. So, okay, any more questions?
No, that's all the questions for now.
Okay, so, Medi, how about you tell everyone where they can submit questions and OCs? By the way, we will be saying more OC stuff in a bit, but until then, Medi.
But yeah, you can submit your OCs, questions, and fan art if you like to draw that stuff to eurocsucks.deviantart.com, at eurocsucks at twitter.com, eurocsuckspodcast@gmail.com, and eurocsuckspodcast.tumblr.com.
Okay, so going on OCs, we are what 6 or 7 episodes into our
This will be 6.
species thing. Yes, this is the 6th. Next week we are doing griffins and hippogriffs, right?
I believe that is what we decided on.
If we have enough.
Yeah, I believe we have enough,
Hopefully.
but just in case, send in more,
Please,
because we'll most likely need them.
Like we're crying here.
And then the week after that, we will be doing Spooky Ponies. Halloween special. Blah.
Oh, I'm so excited for that. Oh,
And
I'm
then the
doing
week
so
after
bad.
that, and then the week after that, we're continuing with things that actually matter. Oh, Smith doesn't like Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we don't get enough of specific species after the Halloween special, then on the 7th of November, we'll probably be doing hybrid, and then the week after that, we'll feature unique species. And then we'll finally be done with the species block.
Yeah. Though.
But you can help it move on, or you can help it grow by bringing in more OCs of specific kinds, like diamond dogs or zebras.
Dragons.
Because
There's another.
dragons, because we don't have really very many of those.
I want to do dragons so bad.
Those are the 3 main ones we're looking to do. But if we get enough of a type of species, then we'll try to do it.
Yeah.
All depends. It depends on viewers like you.
So, that has been Changelings for this week. I have been your host. Wait. Hey, Mummified, what did you do this week?
Oh!
Hey, how about that outro, Mummified? Who were you this week?
I'm Mummified Thunderbirds.
Commander Sparkle.
I'm Medi Bobo.
And I'm Smooth Sailing. And remember, your OC sucks. Good night, everyone.